Hello, my little draconic wolfkins. I hope that you're all doing well. If you guys like what you see and hear, please like, subscribe, and turn on that bell to get notified. And if you guys want to send me your own horror stories, my email is in the description below. Alright, let's get into it. So, I recently posted about an experience I had a few years back, and I really enjoyed it, so I figured I'd share another one. So this one happened, I think, in December of 2024. Me and my two best friends wanted to hang out, which we will call Belle and April. Belle has the hangout house, so obviously we went there. But previous to us meeting there, we had talked about taking some funny vegetables. Some funny vegetables. What? I can understand funny pictures, but funny vegetables? Okay. For the purpose of this story, we will call them Ike. I-K. No, it's I-Y-K-Y-K. I know. Maybe? Ah, fuck it. I don't know. I was the one to bring them to the function because I hadn't done them in a bit and I had some. Plus, my friends are dope and were obviously down. Now, Belle at the time had a room completely separate from the house, which was the studio. The studio had a layout of two rooms. She had everything set up in the second room farthest from the door, and since it was the middle of winter, that bitch was cold. Oh shit, yeah, probably. Like, holy crap, I hate the cold. I'd much rather be hot than cold. Anyways, that's besides the point. So she had a heater on and a big brown blanket to cover up the draft that came from the other room. All of my friends, including myself, are relatively short, me being the tall, standing at an average size of 3 feet 3 inches. Okay, yeah, average height for a girl. Which just in itself speaks volumes. I mention this because the blanket sagged at the top due to Belle, April, and myself being just a tad bit short. She probably sink the thumbtacks into the drywall. Okay, I mean, there's nothing better than a People McNugget. People McNugget, that always makes me smile. The blanket was quite long, so it dragged on the carpet and could sit just slightly open along with the sagging at the top. So we hung out with Belle's mom for a while and waited later in the day for us to go to the studio and take them. I ate them all, ate them whole, which isn't the best, but I do. April did the same, but had to take strips of half drunk flat soda to keep them down. Okay, is it that bad? Like, I'm just curious. And Belle just wasn't having it. She ended up throwing them up in a plastic bag before she could even swallow them. Me and April, being the bad influences we are, mainly convinced Belle to eat them after she threw them up. Oh my god. You guys are horrible, terrible, terrible influences, and just terrible friends. She took 2 Doritos sandwiches, them in there while April hyped her up while I recorded the screaming in the corner of her bed, already feeling them. Laughing my ass off, about to throw it myself at the thought of her doing this, which was my idea in the first place. So that right there just explains how it was starting off. You know, we were having fun, laughing and giggling like girls do when they hang out. Until April went to the bathroom and got into her own head. She came back just off. She said she wanted to lie down and that she wasn't feeling good. Me and Belle knew that she wasn't getting into her head, which was eventually April fessed up that she was taking herself down into a rabbit hole of just a strong feeling of needing to generally be put into a mental hospital. Oh my god, what the fuck? Are these like some kind of drugs? Like, holy hell. Now, at this point, I could feel an energy of just pure, dark, negative, malicious intent just behind the blanket hanging. I never said anything to either of them because I'm quite spiritual. They are too, but have less a understanding for things. I might sound full of myself, but I'm just being real. They would panic and fear only feeds. I mean, yeah. I could just feel that it was tall and gaunt. I could feel as if something was peeking at us over the sagging part. And again, I didn't say a word and just continued on. Dude, I would have said something. Even if it did freak out my friends. Like, but what the fuck do I know? I don't know jack shit. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm reading this for the first time. I could feel like it was dragging its long skinny fingers across the blanket, and I know this wasn't just me tripping because I could physically see the blanket moving just as I could feel that sense of knowing. I feel like it was waiting and it kept pacing back and forth and peeking and looking in the room. I didn't speak until April all of a sudden gasps and jumps, clinging up to me after we had calmed her down. I had asked her what was wrong, and she said that something that she saw the blanket drag and something doing it. Oh, hell nah. Hell nah. I'm not gonna lie. I would be out of there so damn fast. Like, nah. You wouldn't catch me dead. I tried to play it off as nothing for them because I myself knew fully now my suspicions were confirmed. Yeah, no shit. I couldn't keep the truth from them because April kept asking me and begging me to tell her. I eventually looked at her and asked, "Do you really want to know?" I think it scared Belle because my tone and expression must have been serious. She started to lay down and rolled into face the wall and covered her ears while shutting her eyes tight. Oh my god. I mean, that would be me, honestly, but at the same time, I would be like, I gotta know. I'm just a curious little munchkin myself, honestly. Like, oh my god, I'm so curious. However, April still wanted to know. April loves things like this, but nothing really happens to her, and she feels like it's because she lives more in town than me and Belle. Like, how far in town are we speaking, and where do you all live? I confirmed to her that there was something there, but I didn't want to say anything because I know that feeding into it will do us no good. Yeah, for sure. You don't want negativity for any spiritual entity. She asked me what I think we should do, and I gave her my best advice I could. I told her we could ignore it as if it doesn't bother us, or do what priests and priestesses do, which is mock and belittle it and treat it as if it was harmless. What? Like an exorcism? Like, fuck, I don't know. This is all fucking weird. Me and my her kept going back and forth of describing the same thing and feeling. Eventually, she asked me what I thought it was waiting for or why it was there. Like, I want to know too, man. Like, what is this thing? I didn't mean to say this, but it just sort of happened. I responded for you to go to sleep. Oh, for us to go to sleep. Oh my god. Spelling errors. This is what I truly felt. I had told her since she was awfully tired that she could go to sleep, since at this point it was around 2 a.m. and the only person that was asleep was Belle. Good. Belle needed. Ugh, Belle. Belle probably needed to use to sleep anyways. I told her I was probably gonna stay awake, so if anything happened, I could put my foot down and tell it to go away. I would look the devil in the face and tap my foot while pointing a stern finger if I had to, even though I was shaking in my own little boots. I mean, I would too, like, holy shit. Me and her just stayed up and talked for hours until she eventually spoke up, saying she didn't feel the energy anymore. I hadn't felt it in a while either, but again, I just didn't say anything. Let's just say I was the only one who didn't sleep that night, and that Belle doesn't like the fact that whenever I came over, something weird happens, is how she describes it. Both of them are convinced I have some sort of attachment or attractive energy for this sort of thing. Like, yeah, I could believe it. Like, that's just all kinds of freaky.